All right, hit 10 o'clock. Let's get started. Hello, everyone, and good morning. And I want to thank you all for taking the time to join me today. If you have not yet already, grab some coffee, hot cocoa, or snacks. So we're going to be having a little story time today. And today's presentation, it's going to be about shifting how you think about short-term care. I'll be showing that the power of these plans hold at claim time and how they stack up to LTC policies. Many consumers and agents like you think that short-term care products are just a little gap filler. Well, you're about to see why that's like calling Michael Jordan just a basketball player. Okay, so my name is Morgan Barth. I'm a regional director here at GoldenCare. I truly have a passion for helping you, the agents, cut through the noise, navigate all the options out there, and land on the products that really fit your clients' needs. So today's webinar, it's titled Storytime, The Hidden Powers of OmniFlex. And I'm going to tell you a story that will show you exactly why this product stands out, what makes it unique, and how it can deliver serious value to your clients. And in the process, I'll show you why you need to add the short-term care products to your portfolio. So for those of you that have tuned in, the last time I gave this presentation, I'm switching it up a little bit. I'm going to add a little holiday twist, in the spirit of, Christmas that's right around the corner. And before we dive in, I gotta brag a little bit. Here at GoldenCare, we don't just give you products. We really give you the full toolkit to win over your clients and close more sales. I'm talking a perfect portfolio of senior market products, superior back office support. We take the heavy lifting off your back so you could focus on sales and building your book of business. Ongoing product and sales training. We have a rewards program. So yes, you can get paid on high commission levels and rewarded at the same time. And a whole menu of exclusive tools that we've built for your success. So if you're not already registered, I encourage you to go check out our agent corner located within the goldencareagent.com site. And if you're not contracted yet, what exactly are you waiting for? So call us at 800-842-7799 and let's start boosting your sales today. First up, I want to bring your attention really quick to the fact that the market is shifting and so are clients' needs. For years, long-term care insurance dominated the space. And don't get me wrong, there's still a place for LTC. It's just many agents found traditional long-term care policies to be, a bit tough to sell between the in-depth underwriting, the rising premiums, and sometimes limited flexibility. So long-term care can, feel out of reach for a lot of people. So that's where short-term care, or STC, steps in, and it's making waves for all the right reasons. Short-term care plans are growing rapidly because they strike that perfect balance of affordable premiums, lenient underwriting, and an impressive amount of built-in value. They're accessible, flexible, and let's be honest, far easier for your clients to say yes to. Here's one of my favorite parts. When you factor in the built-in RX benefit that OmniFlex provides, clients can use this benefit to offset premium costs. In some cases, it covers their entire premium. So how's that for smart product design? The bottom line is this: the market's shifting and short-term care is leading the way. It's time to take that leap into the future of offering an alternative extended care coverage options. And I'm going to show you today exactly why OmniFlex deserves a spot in your portfolio. All right, diving into today's story. Let's meet Cindy, Nancy, and Betty, 3 inseparable lifelong friends. Their lives are tangled together even more than Christmas lights you pull out on December 1st. So they've been through everything together. High school drama, first jobs, weddings, kids, and now they're navigating retirement. And like a lot of friends at this stage of life, the conversation has shifted to, what if we need care someday? Little do they know, they're about to take 3 different paths. I'm going to start with Cindy. She's 61 years old, widowed, and she's in pretty good health overall, except for diabetes. She's on 40 units of insulin a day, which is a very common health scenario. Um, and now, see, Cindy, she's a firm believer that long-term care is the gold standard. And in her mind, short-term care is the lesser product, and she honestly doesn't want to hear about it. So she applies for a traditional LTC policy that will provide $6,000 a month. She's got a $180,000 total pool, 90-day facility elimination period with first day home health care access. So that brings her to an annual premium of $2,646. So it's not bad if she could get approved, but listen here, here's the twist. As we know, LTC underwriting can be one of the tougher health products to get approved for. And it's more like life insurance underwriting than a health product, with even more focus on functional and cognitive health. With that being said, Sydney recently had adjustments to her diabetic medications just last month, and her doctor added a new medication. So the underwriter flagged it. To make matters worse, Cindy smokes. And we're not talking the wacky tobacco, like the hardcore nicotine stuff. So with many LTC carriers, smoking plus diabetes is an automatic knockout. And if there's been an increase in dosage or a new medication in the last 6 months, another stop sign. Just like that, we're going to say goodbye to Cindy. She's out of the LTC running and officially re-signed to holiday baking duty. So now as an agent, this is where you can call us. We're the ones who can help you pivot the conversation, find a creative solution, and even change your client's mindset about short-term care. But for the rest of the story, we're going to be focusing on our other 2 friends, Betty and Nancy. Okay, now that Cindy's off to the kitchen, let's meet our remaining 2 friends, Betty and Nancy. They're also 61, widowed, and fairly healthy, except for one familiar detail, both diabetes and are on 40 units of insulin a day. So Betty, like Cindy, wants a traditional LTC policy. Same exact benefit setup, $6,000 a month, $180,000 pool, 90-day elimination period, first day home health care, and comes to the same total annual premium of $2,646. And guess what? After going through the LTC underwriting gauntlet, Betty gets approved. Woohoo, Betty. Nancy, on the other hand, she's our budget queen, and she's all about value. She loves the solid plan design of OmniFlex, and she applies for $400 a day facility. That's $12,000 a month. $300 a day home health care, which comes out to $9,000 a month. And she's going to have first aid coverage for both facility and home health care. A lot of these short-term care policies, we see a lot of people go in with the 0-day elimination period just because the premiums are so affordable. And her annual premium comes out to $1,862. She's approved quickly without the extensive underwriting process, and her policy is issued. So here's where it gets interesting and maybe a little unsettling for Betty, because Betty's paying 42% more than Nancy for her LTC policy. And let's factor in that RX benefit of $300 annually. That jumps to 58% more. Also, keep in mind, Nancy has a higher benefit amount she can access for both facility and home health care day 1. So let's say Betty is just a little bit jealous. So safe to assume their next book club meeting might be a little awkward. I've been told that book club rule number 1 right now, it's never too early for a Crispin tangent. So let's be happy we're not invited to that meeting. And whoops, apologize. Skipped over a little too quick there. All right, here we go. Fast forward. They're both 68 now. and it's Christmas time again. And in their neighborhood, Christmas light must go up for Betty and Nancy. It's not just decorating, it's a competition. Who's gonna have the best light show on the block? So out come the ladders, the boxes of lights, the untangling, and that friendly trash talk. During their competitive light hanging showdown, both of them take a tumble and off their step ladders. Down they go. Result, matching leg fractures. They both now can't perform 2 of the 6 activities of daily living, and this means it's claim time. So first up, Betty. Her experience with her LTC policy, unfortunately, no dice. She hasn't hit the 90-day LTC claim trigger yet. Medicare is going to pay some, but she'll have to pay out-of-pocket expenses. Luckily, her kids and other family members pitch in. Meanwhile, she's still paying that LTC premium for a possible future claim. Now, Nancy's experience, on the other hand, she's got OmniFlex, no 90-day certification over here. In addition, Medicare is also paying a portion of the cost. She's going to decide to recover at home, and her plan pays $300 a day for 30 days. So she's got $9,000 for nurses, PT, home health aides. And after her initial recovery, she feels comfortable having her kids and friends out. So she switches to the Fast 50 benefit. That's still $150 a day for the next 30 days, which equals $4,500. That brings her total payout for the injury $13,500. And the best part, after 180 days, her plan's going to restore. She goes back to the full coverage. So while Betty's still staring at her medical bills and half-finished light display, Nancy's got her expenses covered and her lights are blinking to the Jingle Bell Rock. Now we're jumping forward again. Our friends are 76. It's time for a little tune-up. Double knee replacement for both of them. Both beat the 2 of the 6 ADL criteria for a claim. And the thing is, the recovery will only take a couple months. So once again, Betty hits the same wall. She won't meet that 90-day requirement for her LTC policy to kick in. And again, Medicare picks up some of the costs, but she's still looking at out-of-pocket expenses. Her kids and family rally around to help while she recovers, but her LTC benefits remain untouched. Let's look at what Nancy's gets. It's totally different. She's eligible for a claim right away. Her OmniFlex is going to pay her $300 a day for 60 days that she needs full recovery at home. That's $1,800 in benefits without waiting that 90 days, and eligible right from the start. So after her recovery, her policy's restoration feature kicks in, and 180 days later, she's eligible for coverage in the future. But at this point, Nancy's feeling really good about her choice, and Betty, let's just say she's starting to think maybe Nancy was onto something back when they were 61. All right, fast forward again to we're at 81. Christmas is right around the corner. As the stockings are being hung and plans are being made, both friends sadly experience mid-level strokes. Medicare does a decent job on the recovery portion, but after rehab, they both need significant help at home. Now, Betty's plan finally triggers a claim. She's going to use her cash benefit to pay $1,500 a month for the first 2 months while her family and friends lend their hands and their hearts this Christmas. After that, she needs professional home health care agency to come in for the next 10 months. And her LTC policy pays $6,000 a month, totaling in $60,000. Nancy takes a similar path, but a different policy structure and total different benefit amount. She starts with the Fast 50 benefit, which is for her $150 a day for 60 days. So $4,500 each month, totaling $9,000 to cover those first 2 months with help from her family and friends. Then, when a home health care agency steps in for the next 10 months, OmniFlex pays her $9,000 a month, totaling a $90,000 grand total benefit, she's going to receive a whopping $99,000. Now, just look at that comparison. Just like Santa's sleigh packed with gifts, OmniFlex is fully loaded. Robust coverage with nothing left out. So that really opens your eyes, I hope, jingles your bells a little bit, doesn't it? This isn't a sleepy Christmas tale, it's the real deal. And I'm willing to bet there's no dozing by the fireplace this time. But hang on, we're still not out of the woods. And hold on tight as we head over the hills and through the woods, we hit the early 80s. Amid the holiday cheer, our friend's health begins to decline. Both our friends' health is declining with age, and they now need assistance with their ADLs. As the Christmas lights twinkle and the season unfolds, both families hope their loved ones can stay at home for as long as possible, surrounded by the comfort from family and friends. So it's time to weigh their options. Betty's LTC policy offers $6,000 a month, up to the remaining $117,000 left in her pool. And Nancy's OmniFlex policy gives her $12,000 a month, up to $144,000 in benefits. So here's where the flexibility really kicks in. Betty can use the same $6,000 a month toward home health care, or she can jump to her facility later, receiving $6,000 a month for the remainder of her pool. But Nancy can use her Fast 50 benefit to stay at home, also receiving $6,000 a month or $200 daily for a full 360 days, and that's going to total $72,000. She could also jump to facility coverage later if she needed, which, $12,000 a month, $400 a day for first day coverage. Very flexible, solid plan. So after weighing their options, both women decide to stay in the comfort of their own homes, and being neighbors, they can still support each other every step of the way and continue their lifelong friendship. As this Christmas tale comes to a close, let's see how Betty and Nancy's extended care plans measured up. They both had solid coverage, but here's the breakdown. Betty's LTC premium was $2,646 annually, a bit steep, but still affordable for her. Her plan paid a total of $180,000 in benefits, all of which helped her stay in the comfort at home. In fact, Betty's policy was fully utilized by the end of the story, even though she couldn't hit those claim triggers in the beginning. Nancy's OmniFlex premium was $1,862 annually, so 29% less than Betty's and 41% less, factoring that RX benefit. She received a total of $202,000 in benefits, also allowing her to stay at home, even use that facility Fast 50 benefit. And here's a real kicker. If Nancy had completely used every dollar available to her, she could have received $252,000 or $504,000 total after restoration. So it's safe to say Nancy's plan is the star on the top of the tree here. And you thought holiday magic didn't exist? Nancy's plan proves otherwise. So like holiday lights on a sturdy tree, short-term care stands tall and bright next to LTC. I want to show you here just a quick snapshot. We put this together, side-by-side comparison of how both the plans panned out over the years. You'll see the premiums paid, benefits received, and how their choices translated into real-world value. And notice how the first two claims, again, didn't pay Betty anything with her LTC policy. The OmniFlex plan pays multiple times for those shorter period claims. It's the extended care coverage, that gift that keeps on giving. Don't worry, either of these slides will be provided to you once we wrap up this webinar today. So you can use this as a sales tool in this graph to help sell, with your clients when you're sitting with them. And the moral of the story here is make sure your client's extended care coverage is as strong as your eggnog. Okay, so after hearing Betty and Nancy's story, one big takeaway is that Betty's LTC plan wasn't always accessible, and that's because the fall and fracture and double knee replacement didn't meet the 90-day certification requirement with their LTC policy. For those of you that are not aware, long-term care policies require a doctor to certify that you will need care for at least 90 days in order to access your benefits, which can leave policyholders with significant out-of-pocket costs. And some of the most common claims we see have the shorter recovery durations. For example, knee replacements, osteoporosis, related fractures, broken bones, cardiac arrest, bypass surgery, heart valve replacement. This is a huge selling point to use when talking with your clients, especially those who believe that only LTC policies will provide them that solid safety net, and they end up not being eligible or declined. You can save that sale with key facts such as this one. Pivot them to short-term care and save that sale. Now listen up here. This is what makes OmniFlex truly unique, is the Fast 50 benefit. It gives your client immediate access to cash from day one with no elimination period after they hit the claim triggers. And it's ideal for paying a spouse, a family member, or even a trusted friend as a caregiver. It applies to both home health care and facility care. While the home health care use for the Fast 50, it's pretty obvious, it's also valuable for facility care. I'm going to show or give you a couple examples how to utilize Fast 50 for facility. So it could be used if one had purchased a facility benefit with an elimination period. Perhaps they had an eligible claim that would only call for a small amount of days in a facility, maybe after a major surgery in which they needed some recovery and therapy in a nursing facility. If they knew they would not be in the facility long enough to get the full facility indemnity benefit, they could utilize Fast 50 to get 50% of their facility benefit paid first day for those days in the facility. Of course, after they get off claim and go 180 days without needing any benefits or care, that would restore back into their plan for future claims. And OmniFlex allows multiple restorations on both facility and home health care. Another example of the use for facility, the Fast 50, would be, say your client used their entire home health care benefit period on a claim as either full indemnity or they were on the Fast 50. Then they want to or need to continue to stay at home, they could jump over and utilize the Fast 50 from their facility coverage to continue their claim at home with cash paid for their family members, home health care aides, etc. And OmniFlex is the only short-term care plan out there that can allow one to experience a paid single claim for up to 720 days at home. This leads me to my next question for you and your clients. Would you rather receive $144,000 over the course of a year or $48,000 per year over the course of 3 years? Since short-term care policies are paid as indemnity, policyholders receive their full daily benefit amount regardless of costs associated with that daily care they received. So if they're on a claim and they have an OmniFlex plan with $300 daily max benefit and the care they received for that day totaled $200, they still receive $300, no questions asked. Long-term care reimburses based off the cost of care that was received. No extra cash in the pocket, save up for Christmas shopping. Just saying, something to think about. And I assume after you ask this question, if you're in your client meetings, you will hear a pause. That's when your client is realizing the flexibility, speed, and larger benefit access upfront that short-term care provides. And that can make all the difference when life throws a curveball. All right, guys, I'm wrapping it up. But if you have any questions about today's presentation or just about OmniFlex in general, please reach out to the dream team here at GoldenCare. We can help determine your client's eligibility, assist in selecting the right plan design, provide custom illustrations and sales materials, give you tips when you're presenting to your clients, and even walk you through your very first application step by step. You're never alone in the field when you have GoldenCare behind you. Let's go win those sales together, guys. And I want to thank you so much for joining me today and spending part of your day here. I hope you're walking away with fresh ideas, new confidence in presenting OmniFlex, and maybe a few good stories to share with your clients. I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday season and Merry Christmas from all of us here at GoldenCare. Take care, everyone.
GoldenCare is always here to serve you with new tools, new products, new ideas, and new innovations, and always the best support in the business to help you succeed. So give us a call at 800-842-7799 and check out our website at www.goldencareagent.com.